This is ASTM D698, the complete laboratory procedure for determining the compaction characteristics of soils using the standard effort. We're going to walk through the entire process, from sample preparation to running the proctor to applying the oversize correction factor. What is a proctor curve? Before we get into the procedure, let's talk about what the proctor curve actually is. In simple terms, a proctor curve is a graph that shows how tightly a soil can be compacted at different moisture levels. Imagine a 1 cubic foot box filled with soil. The box isn't just dirt. It contains soil particles, water, and air. When the soil is very dry, there are a lot of air trapped between particles. If you try to compact it, the particles don't move well and the soil won't get very dense. As we add water, the particles become lubricated. They slide closer together. Air is pushed out. The soil packs tighter and density increases. But if we keep adding water past a certain point, there's no more air left to remove. Now we're just adding excess water and the density starts to drop. That rise and fall creates the proctor curve. Too dry, low density. Just right, maximum density. Too wet, density drops. The peak of that curve is called the maximum dry density, and the moisture at that point is the optimum moisture content. Obtaining a representative sample. This process begins with obtaining a representative bulk sample. The sample must represent the in-place material. It must be clearly labeled and protected from contamination and moisture change. If the sample isn't representative, the curve is meaningless. Drying the soil. Next, we air dry the soil at a temperature of less than 140 degrees Fahrenheit or 60 degrees Celsius. The goal is to establish a homogeneous starting moisture condition and allow proper processing. Clods are broken down without crushing particles. We do not alter the natural gradation. At this stage, we are preparing the soil, not compacting it. Method determination. After drying the soil, we processed the soil over a 3/4 inch, 3/8, and number 4 sieves. We process these like cumulative sieves, weighing first the total material being processed, then the material that's retained on the 3/4, then the material retained on the 3/4 and 3/8 combined, and then the material retained on the 3/4, 3/8, and number 4 combined. After initial sieving, we determine the appropriate method. In this example, we are using method B. That's because more than 25% of it is retained on the number 4 sieve, and less than 25% is retained on the 3/8 sieve. That places the soil in method B under ASTM D698. When is a correction factor required? Now we determine whether a correction factor is required. The rule is simple. If more than 5% of the material is retained on the sieve used for the method, a correction factor must be applied. In method B, we use the 3/8 sieve. In this case, 21% is retained on the 3/8 sieve. That is greater than 5%. Therefore, a correction factor is required. We should then take a moisture content from the plus material and minus material as well. This will be used in the calculations later on. Why the correction is necessary. The material retained on the 3/8 sieve is not compacted in the mold. It was removed before running the proctor, but it exists in the actual field material. If we ignore it, the maximum dry density would only represent the minus material, and the density would be understated. The correction adjusts the density to represent the full field material. Running the standard proctor. We now run the standard proctor using method B. The compacted effort consists of a 5.5 pound hammer dropped 12 inches. We use a 4-inch diameter mold, 3 layers, 25 blows per layer. The soil is divided into at least 4, preferably 5, equal specimens. The moisture increments are added, no more than 4% apart. The material is mixed thoroughly and allowed to homogenize. 3 hours for granular soils, 16 hours for all other soils. The mold is weighed, filled in layers, compacted without double bounce, trimmed flush, and then weighed again. The moisture sample is extracted from each point. This process is repeated for 4 to 6 times for moisture points. Calculating the dry density and optimal moisture content. Wet density is calculated by subtracting the mold weight from the total weight and dividing by the mold volume. Dry density is calculated by dividing the wet density by 1 plus moisture divided by 100. Each point is plotted with dry density on the y-axis and moisture on the x-axis. A smooth curve is drawn. In this example, the uncorrected maximum dry density is 102.1 pounds per cubic foot at 21.1% moisture. Correction factor calculations. Now we apply the oversize correction. Percent retained is 21%. Percent passing is 79%. Oversize moisture was 3.6% and passing moisture was 1.1%. The specific gravity of the oversized is 2.68. Unit weight of water is 62.4 pounds per cubic foot. Using the mass fractions and the specific gravity, we calculate the corrected maximum dry density. The corrected maximum dry density equals 109.8 pounds per cubic foot. ASTM D698 is more than just compacting soil in a mold. It involves sample preparation, method determination, moisture control, compaction effort, curve development, and when required, oversize correction. Every field density test depends on the accuracy of this curve. If the procedure is done correctly, the Proctor curve becomes the foundation for a reliable compaction control.